Hey, it's Mark with Mark's Virtual Real Estate Channel. We're back in Upland doing an update video on the node we just started yesterday, see how it's doing. We'll check on our other nodes. We'll talk about the Spark bonus a little bit and some other things in Upland. So, should be a fun video. Love the likes, love the comments, love the shares. Keep those coming. And of course, I've got my real estate investing channel, Mark Ferguson, Invest for More, if you want to check that out. I actually did a video on Upland yesterday on that channel. So, I do try to help promote Upland in my other real estate stuff. So I think it's a really cool platform, a lot of fun, and hopefully it'll keep growing. All right, first off, I've been doing the daily Spark check-in. So if you don't know what this is, I'm sure most of you do, but basically every day you check in and it gives you a check mark. And after 7 days, you get a Spark bonus. I got a Spark bonus yesterday. It was 0.01 Spark. So sure, it'd be nice if it was more, but I also absolutely do nothing to get it, so I think that's okay. Yesterday, I started a new node in Neponsit. I think I'm saying that right. I don't know what. I should have picked a node that was easier to say, but I guess I could, take 4 seconds to look up how to say it online as well too. But looks like that's how you say it. And we're gonna check and see how that's doing, and we'll check out some other nodes here in Queens as well, and in Detroit too. If you don't know what a node is, it's basically when the community gets together, buys properties, builds properties in a certain neighborhood of a certain city. And so had a lot of feedback. A lot of people were very helpful when I asked for help on where to do a node. And some people had suggested doing a node in a certain neighborhood in Queens that wasn't listed as a neighborhood. So it's like a neighborhood within a neighborhood. And I didn't want to do that just because that gets tricky, right? That, people might not know where exactly the boundaries are, might not know where the build is. And then if it's a big neighborhood like Jamaica and you're taking a very small section of it, right, it's probably still going to be way more affected by the value of the total neighborhood than if we chose a small neighborhood and focused on it. So that's kind of why I did that. But in general, I think we're doing really well so far. So before we check on my node, Radish Head or Upland Analysis is doing Hollis Hills, right? Or Hollis Wood. I keep getting that mixed up. Sorry. And it's doing really well. So that's a cool one too, if you want to belong into it. And you can see lots of people are building here. And we'll check out prices here real quick. But he has said he wanted all red roofs to kind of make it look cool and have the same type of buildings. And I'll talk about our nodes too, and if I have any building requirements or suggestions. I don't want to sound like the overlord, but on ours, and I'll talk about that here in a second. So let's check out. So I'm on upxland.me. I really like this. Oh, look at that. It popped up first. I wonder if it pops up based on my searches. That'd be pretty smart of it. Anyway, let's see what the prices have done. So I believe when I bought a property before he announced it, I think it's before even the collections were announced, and even after the collections, I think you could buy in there for around 27,000, which was interesting because I think he had talked about starting a node there for a little while. It was almost the same price as Hollis Hills, or just a tiny bit below, after Hollis Hills was announced as a collection. So it kind of shows you the players of Upland have just as much power as Upland to drive prices if they kind of get together and make communities. So now we can see, oh, I have it on USD. Let's just do UPX because sometimes USD is a lot cheaper. 60,000. So his node is doing very, very well. So nice work. 75 properties for sale. Those prices have more than doubled. So that's pretty cool to see. And then let's see, where am I? Another node that I was sure this had to be a node was Broad Channel. And that was just because so many properties are being built here. And you can kind of see all of these started, right? But I haven't heard much fanfare or, things on I'm not on Discord that much. I am some. I haven't heard a lot about it, but look at all the building. And then someone did mention someone had started a node here. And then right after the collections were announced, I bought a bunch of properties along here just because they're so cheap. And again, this is probably, for a long-term play, if you can kind of squeeze over here, you can still see there's some waterfront properties in a node fairly cheap, right? Not like super duper cheap, but still fairly cheap. So, I mean, just for a long-term play, if someone's building this much in a neighborhood, you have all this waterfront. You can see I got kind of a waterfront one there too. And you need a place to park some money. This sure seems like it would be an interesting place to do it. So again, I haven't heard a whole lot about it, but again, I haven't really tried either. Looks kind of like a boot. Well, so keeps going. All right, now let's check out Neponsit, which is where I started the node, and I know a lot of people said they're going to start building, and we do. That one was completed before. Let's see here. There's one. We've got one building started. Now here's some more. So I know, and that's. So we don't have a ton started yet, but we do have some, and so you can see it's a very small neighborhood, right? Here's the boundary right here. Here's the boundary right here, and definitely some building started. I'm going to start building an apartment building started. That's cool. Here, as soon as my Henry Ford one is done, and we'll check that one out here soon. And let's see what prices are doing here, because prices in Neponsit were 27,000 is the cheapest one I bought before, or actually, yeah, it was right after I announced the node, and I gave people some time to buy some stuff after I announced it. I didn't own anything in there before that, and I could still buy 28,000 a few hours after that, and then things started to go up. So let's see where we're at right now. 43. Okay. So it was at 47 last night when I peaked, but there's a cheaper one for 43. So prices have definitely jumped. 48 properties for sale. I think, is that about what it was before? Maybe there's 56. So prices have definitely increased here. And I think, boy, that's just a... See, this, I want to go buy this property, but at the same time, I don't want to take one away from someone else if they want to jump in. So I won't buy it right now, but then maybe if there's still some cheaper ones available later, I will. And then I also want to do some contests too at some point. Let me know what you think would be a cool contest. There's always the typical like and subscribe and tag friends kind of thing you can do to help promote my channel. But there's other stuff too. I could take some of these properties I bought for, the $27,000, $28,000 range and sell them for, low 30s as the contest to help people get in for a lower price range than what's there right now. So let me know. I did give away some properties in Henry Ford last week, and that was fun. I don't know if I want to give away these yet. Maybe we'll see how it does. But let me know what kind of contest would seem cool. And then let's see how Henry Ford is doing. Got to zoom out here farther. I should almost be done with my build over here. And what I might do too, because Henry Ford is doing really well, I might just start 2 builds at once. Have one in Henry Ford and one in Neponsit. We'll see. Or maybe spread it out even more. And you can see here we've got lots of good buildings being finished. I have a couple of nice ones right there. So Henry Ford is doing great. It's a little bigger neighborhood, but still not huge. The mansion is really cool right there. And let's see how my build is doing. I said it should be really, really close. And then yesterday I kind of talked about how the Spark, I still have all my Spark, 6 hours dedicated, even though I have too much. They're going to take away some of my Spark after this build, I believe. Or they've already taken it away, but they're allowing me to still have it dedicated to this build. Thank you again to everybody who's helping that one get going. So probably later tonight, this afternoon, we'll see. I'll start some new builds. And speaking of that, let's see here. What about the construction guidelines for Queens? And I didn't have any construction guidelines in Henry Ford. Just whatever you want to build is cool. Just try and make it straight was my main goal. And the other thing I don't know if I mentioned is try and make your front door on this main street, right? So sometimes you'll see there's not so much here, but like in Henry Ford, I think there were some roads with alleys, and sometimes people will get confused, or even Upland will start your building facing the wrong way, and so you'll make sure the front door is kind of facing the street and to make it straight. And here we don't have very many curvy roads. They're all pretty much mostly grid. So I think it makes sense to line it up, with the boundaries of your lot or the street. But I think it looks better if you line up with the boundaries of the lot. Now in real life, if you're looking at aerial this, you won't, if we're actually looking at the real Neponsit, which we could actually do. I mean, here, I won't show you what I was looking at online. You won't see, the lot lines. You'll just see, let's see here, the streets and the properties. And you can kind of see, pretty cool area. Lots, pools, big properties. Let's see what's down here by the beach. Those are the cool ones. So it's a neat area. And you can see, this is the wildlife park area over here. Lots of parking. Holy cow. Never really done this before where we look at the real aerial. And then there were just see on here, it looks like a lot more properties along Beach Channel Drive. But I'm probably outside of Neponsit now. Or maybe Neponsit stops right there. We can kind of see. Oh yeah, there. See? We can see the kind of the boundaries. That's kind of cool. Oh, there we go. There's the boundary line right there. So Beach Channel Drive, as you can see, is right up along the bay or the whatever. Yep, Jamaica Bay. And then down here, you got the beach facing the New York, New Jersey bight. Okay, and that goes out to the entire ocean. So kind of cool to be able to see that, this whole beach area. So that's a pretty neat area. And I do have a beachfront property. I'm getting all distracted. I'm sorry. But I do this every video. I have one over here on Edgemere. What address is this? I want to see what my property is. I think in the Google view, I don't even know how to type in that address. 2-00 Beach 52 Street. Anyway, it's over here somewhere. There's Arvine. Here's Edgemere. Oh yeah, this is one of them right here. It was just vacant lots. What is going on here? So, is that from hurricane damage? Maybe somebody knows and can tell us, because it could be Hurricane Sandy from a while. Did it wipe out some properties there, or was there other stuff there? Just has nothing ever been there? Because that's crazy to have so much land just vacant right along the beach. But anyway, all right, going back to Upland. For building guidelines, honestly, I like different styles of buildings and different things going up. One of my biggest pet peeves in the real estate world is having neighborhoods that look exactly the same with the same houses. That is just not something I enjoy. I like having different style houses, contemporary, modern, traditional, whatever, kind of mixed together. I think it's cool. So, like I said, try and make it straight. Try and make it face the right way. And honestly, that's my main concerns. So, townhouse, ranch, mansion, apartment building, hey, they can all live together in harmony, right? So I think that's kind of my thoughts. And even when we're doing flips and rentals and different stuff, we always paint them and design them in different ways. We don't do the same thing over and over again. So I kind of like them to be different. So if people want to get together and say, hey, let's build them all the same, cool. Doesn't bother me any. But if everyone just wants to do their own kind of creative thing, I'm cool with that too. So I know I'm pretty laid back and pretty easygoing with this stuff. And eventually, we should probably do some things and have some ideas on how to make the nodes even cooler. And I'll think about that too. All right, cool. All right, thanks for watching. Love the comments, love the shares. Love seeing people participate in the nodes and comment and say they bought properties or a building. Really cool to see that. I'll start this afternoon when my other build's done here too. And yeah, like I said, check out my other channel too if you want to see the real investing side. And we'll be back with much more coming up here soon.